Hello, Abusia. Chechi obia, jedi obia ho ye. Ya de yankopon ase yeso ho ye. Mentwem gina ho. Mentwem otwem akwahi. Nya abotre na tie me. Yes, Android 27th of February 2025. Ena omampani Mahama ebekasa ye, the State of the Nation address. The first State of the Nation address. Na nsem ne doso. Ne nsem o kind of doso. Nti no, ye betre ye bona part to part. Na wate ase na wahunia echo. So what I say, to the mention about 10 taku. Now, my special subscribe it, na like it, na also my obi. No, so channel, na I yet oh cha. Now, before then, Mr. Know It All, Mr. Know It All, the chief of Jandam has spoken. Na, I'm not someone. I am a person I can assembly pray because, yao, Nesam say. The majority, they are very weak in strategy. Now, me pesa me like me pesa me manage ase na say. Yes, sir. And this bad be mo no mo ncheye. Omo nya ncheye kra. Ba me ha no wo de tie ni Hey, Captain Smart, Quadro Smart.
If you do not want to be seen as weak, develop a strategy. NDC majority now more parliament. You guys are weak. Me, I'm telling you. You are weak in strategy. And you are weak in implementing your strategy if there's any.
Like I said, I say you're very, very weak. But seriously, but sometimes so we are popular. It's a say wajiping, say, but Charlie, Tobo, Quadro Smart, calm down. Gidi awuye, me 2028 to be a best say MPP, and I because I didn't NDC here. I said, wow, it's 2028 elections, and I be exposed, Mobile. Now, if you say 2025 election, no, but 2028 elections. I be mobile, yeah, because now you're over MPP, and I'll done about NDC. But no problem, whether you took money or you didn't take anything, no, and high so what I say. But Haseno, the Biawasha say, there's no name strategy behind saying those who are there, and you are never smarter than anybody. So calm down, allow them to do their work. It's very I'm do 2 months cry. I feel I'm going to come 2 months. So they are weak, they should do this. Charlie, Quadro Smart, calm down. Calm down. Thank you. So fast forward. Andrew Mampani Kasaya. Yeah. Mampani Kasaya na. The way you see chile ni mono. O Mampani ka bibi. O Mampani me pacho. O se o mine. Ayede.
I'm sad to report that the state of our nation is not good. Our economy is in crisis. And our people are suffering unprecedented hardships.
And I was someone. Penny say, or mine at a tear pansam, I told you. But you know, can't you know, the son say, dear need, and who be brave. So what I say, your dear near to the sanity and I think, say not or psychiatry.
Good people of Ghana elected me to office with a historic electoral margin of nearly 1.7 million votes.
Ghana for any NDC for GDA, etwa serious, massive edema. And no doubt, in natural Ghana, you how or minus yarding. Aye, until I was say a tuaba. Now your shame phone crying. Say, Obianco tuaba, a bit yarding, abua. Nama or minor to yarding, assassin. And Crawford, you'll say, yo, Amoko tuaba, Basabasayamba, win a chinyabiamba. The first in history may matter say. Yato aberia the other party abegina declare say me shani abanesi air corner me gidi say me opponent na den afa na me ntwen kura na electoral commission na den emma me bobo me ameden me gi ato na accept defeat me ha me ho kura preview me nto aso. And this was very beautiful. It was.
Let me say that the data from our own internal collation of the election results indicate that former President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has won the presidential election decisively. The end.
Mahama, JM, ya to abadia man. We are not expecting anything. Na ya expect ya say enema bede ebekoyi ye mpa bibi won so chenchene bia na no anya brofo na ye hia wo Ghana ye hia say timamufo no bedidi timamufo no betom adwuma bekoso enema beba fom dum so bejai inflation so bete eno ana ye hwehwe nti Mahama President Mahama on sama wo ka say Ghana for nya momodi da ya to abadia mam e no kre ya to mam na mom no adwuma na ye pese mo ye omo ye say ya chi omo ye say ya chi omo omo a ese ya gine me fi won se me age omo ese ya tie o market o ese ya so you know ya pese Ghana na ya fe ama ayakon no ama me so ma proud se me ya Ghana ni eno ani ade a ya hwehwe firi mo nchen misro sanity auto aso kan se mi so na
fix the economic crisis confronting our country and reset it on a path of growth and prosperity.
Kasa wie ya, kasa ansem wie. Owie no, odi abebuo bi ede. Eto aso. Maka kire se me no, enye nsem ni no kan na me beka. Me de me bobo so me bobo no be bia ye key point e de mame no. So ati ase be bia me de no. E na me ka kire. E bia so be ye ode. Betimi draw attention ya akohwe ho so. Be bia me de no, osa bu be ebe pa. Na ebe no obu ya. Me fa ma no nka. Wanka se ti ebe no obu ya. Owie a, ye be decide ebe no ho nkomo. Na ma cho say no so eyakutia na ye shade edema obi.
God's true length can be ascertained only after it has died. Apotro 1 yehu ne tenten.
Mahama bacho o se den ebe no bu ne sen na o ka kwesi sen.
Apotro 1 yehu ne tenten.
Ana o de na me de na o say sa ponchireni apotro fante wo friend akel so wua ana yehu ne tenten sa bo apotro wua ena ye den yehu ne tenten na asebo ye shi nze ekufu ado yetia ekufu ado ye short ekufu ado fi afia yehu ne tenten na ayebe bi so a emudo kire se odi obi gina ba bi na oya ade a se nipa ni nya mfiri ho a ohu ne e ho so ati ase ha in another way no so e bia woni obi nam ne nipa na ye nyina na nya ofe e da obi fo no be say sa osemesi sa na oya ade se nipa na fi wa be say sa osemesi sa wa be di mabro ha nti no wa hu bia keka ko nti we say sa be we no e big shade idema the NPP akufu ado nti no Ghana fo enya no kwa osan to aso yenti ne to aso
style to lament and shift blame when confronted with challenges.
Yeah, ebusia fast forward. Asamba ko a DM kan ya me aya me dem pese bi gina so e de two for ne say. Hwe o say enye ne star enye na kwan say ohaw bi ba amane bi ba tibia bi ba afiansa obeya abodina keka ena enye me ena enye we ya hwe. And I love that statement very much. It says say you be brave in life. Say ye ni obi nam no ohaw bi ba na ye try say sorry, you be pushing brains na den. E dey am obi na ya twe ye ho ade efu. But I was say, you sunya say, you be je ye from so ade atu. Na ye dey atu anamo na ya find a way you betimi be solve that particular problem. Enti no o say ono no, enye ne lifestyle say, or how ba na obe na aha no kra no chema eya kutia ma NPP, eya kutia de ma NPP, eya kutia bo pa, je me awe eya kutia. But fast forward eya asempa so. It say humanism maintain and train no nam. Enti say ye nam na ye tu anamo na so how ba na obeyi dia bobi na bom say emfa so ba dia eyewa ade pa ba dia eyewa eni monyam ba eyewa but ade bone ba dia na wo twen ho ade afim nti o se ono enya ade a oba be blame obia. And this is a very nice statement from JM Endra betya na eyemede also then out here then out here enye we nkwa no kan o kan send be pray
I John Mahamaah I will fix the economic crisis confronting our country and reset it on a path of growth and prosperity.
But me woman panic for. Me say be also ohu baby sa. Ana mo say Okay, bia me na me hu, but me sure so uhu na cho comment section me hu, but me hu pen form as obia me hu na manager ye omampani Kufo. And I uhu be different ho. Akufo ano. Titia, uhu no. Me sure so. You know, well, in Tebushia for bia ye dwe. Me pese e magye kasa kakra na wotie because me pese be ye tenten bebre. Ti no oban no o kire se the way na ono kra tie kire na ohu niam no. Onim sa ampa ne mamo eden. But na onya hu nkrata a wo honi munti no office anka eni da so. But oban no be bie nkrata mu no bie mu no hwehwe mu no hu se no. Be bie oman na dru no. Ye ne hwea enye na so owagidie onyame mu se niam e be ye. Nti enko hwesa efa no. Ye hwesa efa no wi a na watie nsam. Wi a me de mu nchiri mai den. E dia ma. Thank you.
Knowledge that our economy is in dire straits, which is putting it mildly, because an initial assessment of the books we have discovered, we have discovered that our economic problems are much deeper than was previously known. We have inherited a country that is broken on many fronts. The profundities of the challenges confronting us are staggering. We are saddled with staggering debts and glaring signs of almost deliberate and in some cases, reckless mismanagement of our resources. Mr. Speaker, not even the restraints of an IMF program were enough for the previous economic managers to exercise prudence in managing our finances. After setting an inflation target of 18% by the end of 2024, the actual outturn was 23.8%, significantly higher than the threshold agreed with the IMF. The Ghana cedi continued its downward slide, losing 19% of its value against the dollar in 2024. It had already in the previous year lost 27.8% of its value. In addition to the public debt, which amounts to a staggering 721 billion cedis, several state-owned enterprises are also in debt, including the ECG, which owes 68 billion Ghana cedis. Ghana Cocoa Board, the hope of cocoa farmers, is also highly indebted. Its balance sheet indicates a total debt of 32.5 billion Ghana cedis, of which 9.7 billion is due to be paid at the end of September 2025. In 2023-2024 crop season, Cocoa Board was unable to supply 333,767 metric tons of cocoa, which it had sold at $2,600 per ton. As a result, the then management of Cocoa Board rolled over these contracts into the 2024-2025 season. Honorable members, Mr. Speaker, this implies that for every ton of cocoa delivered this year, in fulfillment of the rollover contracts, Cocoa Board and Ghanaian farmers are going to lose $4,000 in revenue. Mr. Speaker, as I address this Honorable House, Cocoa Board has supplied 210,000 tons out of the rolled over contract, resulting in a revenue loss of $840 million for both Cocoa Board and the Ghanaian farmer. Mr. Speaker, Cocoa Board and the Ghanaian farmer will lose another $495 million by the time the board finishes supplying the remaining rolled over contracts. Additionally, cocoa road commitments alone total 21.7 billion cedis, of which only 4.4 billion is included in the total debt of 32.5 billion. This debt has arisen mainly because of the decision in 2019 and 2020 to award road contracts worth over $1 billion because of the election. Mr. Speaker, the energy sector faces significant financial challenges, primarily due to collection and system losses, non-compliance with the cash waterfall mechanism, and legacy debts. The financing shortfall has risen considerably to approximately $2.2 billion, or 34 billion Ghana cedis for 2025. Measures will be needed to reduce it to sustainable levels and ultimately eliminate it. The financial sector continues to struggle despite the reportedly spending of 29.9 billion on the financial sector cleanup exercise up to date. Scant reserves were also left for debt servicing, despite implementing what may be considered the most severe and distressing economic policy in the annals of the Fourth Republic, if not our nation's history. And I'm referring to the domestic debt exchange program. This is in stark contrast to our actions in 2017 before we left office, when we allocated $250 million to the sinking fund handed over to the incoming government to service debts, Ghana's debts. There have been claims that buffers were left for debt repayment, oncoming debt repayment this year. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, let me give you the statement of account for the debt service reserve account, which is also popularly referred to as the sinking fund. This fund shows a balance of only $64,000 in the dollar account. $64,000 in the dollar account, and 143 million Ghana cedis in the CD account. The repercussions of the accumulation of debt and economic mismanagement will require extensive work and sacrifice to repair. In the next 4 years, to put things in context for you, Mr. Speaker, in the next 4 years, our debt servicing will amount to 280 billion cedis. And this comprises of 150 billion for domestic debt and 130 billion in external debt servicing. Our catastrophic debt position has also severely impacted infrastructural projects that should have been completed. Currently, there are 55 stalled projects due to the default of debt and subsequent restructuring, with a total value of $2.95 billion not disbursed. The stalling of these projects is expected to result in a cost overrun of about 15 billion cedis. Mr. Speaker, notwithstanding this gloomy background, I remain committed to leading this government and taking every necessary step to reset our economy, getting things back on track, and working with the good people of our country to build the Ghana we want.
Yes, I said I'm thinking I can. Some of the doors. Now, the Yoksaka I am a day said, Chilemu said, fear teachers, Nadia or Bichum. And Yamahu do be brilliant, I just say. It's if you know, and then the last message, you know, I demand, and I am a day. The last message, and say, Ghana, Babasa or Baba Yade, I be fixing. It's your idea, anything. Hawa and Yama beside Akuri in the year 2028. Ain't you know? These are some of few words of the President Mahama. What? We are quite a bit me on the page of TV3 Joy, and a lot of other people are reacting to it. So what I say. So Sana could see it. To me that's it. So when you break, now what's here? Bye bye. Thank you.